Hello friends, last lecture we have just seen about the cell and its function. Now we have to discuss about tissue and its function. So definition of tissue, as we are very well that cells are the structural and functional unit of body. Likewise cells makes an tissue. So tissues are nothing but a group of cells. Group of closely associated cells that perform related functions and are similar in structure. Cells of different tissues are structured differently, which leads to their difference in function. That means each and every cells can form an organ system. An organ system makes an body. The meaning of this one. Though what are the types of tissues? Types of tissues are nothing but an epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. Each and every tissue has its own characteristics and function. Every tissue type is very important for our body. Epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissues are covering body surfaces or lines of body cavity, also form most of the body's gland. Epithelial tissues is widespread throughout the body, covers organs and lines body surfaces. There are several types of the epithelial tissue that we can discuss it later, which basically lines the smooth glands as well as the smooth surfaces. So this is and one very important chart by which you can conclude that what is basically the type of the tissues and what is its basic functions, location and characteristics that is in front of you. Epithelial tissue basic function is protection, secretion, absorption and excretion. That covers body surfaces, covers and line internal organs and compose various glands. We can call it as an endocrine glands. Characteristics: lack of blood supply. Okay, neatly it divides repeatedly, readily. Lack blood supply, readily divide, cells are tightly packed. The other type of the tissue is connective tissue. Bind, support, protect, store fat, produce blood cells. Its location is widely distributed throughout the body. Characteristics: have good blood supply. Cells are further apart than the epithelial cells. Muscular type of the tissue. Its basic function is movement. Skeletal muscles are basically involved in that. So movement is can be done with the help of the skeletal muscles. So muscular system is basically involved in the movement. Its location is attaching towards the bone, okay, walls of hollow organs and the heart. As the muscular system is there, basically it involves the three types of the muscles: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. Its characteristics are able to contract in response to specific stimuli. And the last type is nervous tissue. Transmit impulses for coordination, regulation, integration and sensory perception. Location is basically brain, spinal cord and nerves. Characteristics: cells communicate with each other and other body parts. So nervous system is involved basically in the transmission of the nerve impulses. So what is the conclusion of this chart is that epithelial tissue is lines all the smooth muscles. Basically connective tissue involves the hard connective tissue and fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue like an blood, hard connective tissue like an bone. Muscular tissue is involved the three different types of the muscles: skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles and the smooth muscles. Each are having its own basic function. Okay, so nervous tissue is basically involved in the transmission of the nerve impulses through the nerve cells. We can call it as the neuron.